Hi, welcome back to Who May Be a Leader. And as we continue to talk to you about pride, which I think is one of the things that are really um, destroying not our men only, but also their family and relationships. Because sometimes we seem to think that we the one did all what we doing, and we self-sufficient, and not only that, we can be self-centered also too. One of the things that I want to deal with today, I want to deal with the pride of position, because sometimes we can be too prideful about the position that God has allowed us to hold, whether it's in a big company or wherever we may find ourselves, in a church, an organization. We can have pride because a lot of us lean on our education. We lean on all the awards that we have, and and we think that we've done this stuff ourselves, and we don't realize that God. The scriptures say a man plans his way, but God guides his step. Because you can plan things and it not come to fruition. But God is saying that is me that have given you the ability to be in the position. And not only that, man, I want to challenge you, because some of us find ourselves in a position of management, find ourselves in a position of servanthood, supervising rather, and we have to understand that if we're operating from a Christian perspective, and we have people working under us, we got to remember that we all have the same Father, and we're gonna have to give an account one day when we deal with God and how we treated His people. Remember also too that it is God that has positioned you in the spot that you're in, and so when we look at the Scripture and what it say about boasting about the position you have, we always can bring them. Think about the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and how they always wanted to be seen, because they was not only self-centered, but they were self-sufficient, is what they think they were. Matthew 23:6 say, talking about the Pharisees and Sadducees, he said they loved the place of honor at the banquet and the chief seat in the synagogue. They wanted to be seen. That's why when they gave their offering, they wanted everybody to look at them, because they wanted to boast about it. And matter of fact, in Matthew, he said, "Be careful of practicing your righteousness before men, otherwise you have your reward." What he's saying now is, be careful of trying to be men pleasing. Be careful of trying to be seen. Be careful of trying to exude that it's about you before men, and to look good before men, because God said otherwise you have your reward. Well, what is the rewards that he's talking about? Because a lot of time when we try to look good before men, they give us that pats on the back, those strokes. Hey, you done a good job. We couldn't have done it without you. The whole thing. And he said, be careful of trying to be men pleasers. He said, because otherwise you have your reward. Let me read something to you that I found, and I thought it was absolutely fabulous. Because number one, men, I want you to understand, nobody seeks God. Nobody's perfect. Romans 3:23. He said we've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. So nobody have sought God out. God has sought us out. I was reading this story about a CEO of Fortune 500 club, and he said a CEO of a Fortune 500 noticed his wife talking with a station attendant. Come to find out, she had dated him in school. As they got on their way, the CEO said, "I know what you're thinking." And she said, "And you're thinking, I'm glad I married you instead of him, or else I'll be the wife of a gas station attendant instead of the wife of a CEO of a Fortune 500 business." Without missing a beat, the wife said, "No, I was thinking if I'd married him, I'd be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company and you be a gas station attendant." See, the CEO was tooting his own horn, because he felt like she ought to be proud to be with him, because hey, he was a businessman of a Fortune 500 club, and she ought to be glad that she married him. Otherwise, she'd be married to a station attendant. And she busted his chop and told him that hey, no, she was gonna be what she was gonna be, with or without him. And that's what we do sometimes too. We we think that the only reason why a person is what they is because they with us, and God is saying no, it's because I've blessed them to be with what they have. Look at this. The Pharisee says, "Look at me. I have no need for anyone else. I can do it myself." The view hold that me, myself, and I, and are the only one I can count on. See, a lot of times that's how a lot of us fall, for the simple reason because we do think we can do it ourselves. We think we're self-sufficient, and we think we don't need God. And see, what I'm saying is this: we're gonna always need somebody, because the scriptures say two is better than one. When the one fall, the other one is able to pick them up. And so we should always seek God. Don't seek to be a lone ranger Christian, because that's one of the things that Satan loves, is to catch us all by ourselves. Now, one of the things that I believe that we become isolated people, no matter if we're in a crowd or whatever, and that's a dangerous place to be in, is to be isolated from the saints and from the Christian and from God Himself. When you distance yourself from God, you are there without any covering, and God is saying stay close to the flock and get the wise counseling that you need, and submit yourself to it, because pride can take you down. Because like I say, sometimes we're self-sufficient and sometimes we self-centered. Pride prevents me from helping others. It thinks I'm too good to get my hands dirty. It's a lot of people like that, man. There's a lot of people so self-centered that they only care about themselves. Remember, the scriptures say do nothing from selfishness, because a lot of times we can be selfish, and God is calling us not to be selfish. It is all about me. Pride is the worship of me. Forgetting the Son, I am the center of the universe and everything in orbit around me. The thing about it is, we do have people with that kind of mindset. And I want to challenge you, men, is this. I want to challenge you to put your family first. I want to challenge you to put your wife first. I want to challenge you to put your kids first. And what do I mean by that? Meaning that I want you to take out a day. Start with a day. Take out a day each week, and I want you to begin to minister to your wife. Begin to just listen to her issues and what she got going on, and begin to talk to her about her needs and what's needed. And not only that, if you haven't been doing this, just go before her and apologize and ask for forgiveness, and begin to do this so God can begin to bless your relationship. And then with your kids, I know a lot of times men, we think we go out and work and we provide things for them, that we've done our job. I'm saying the scriptures say a good man leaves an inheritance while he's alive. First and foremost, he live it out within his own life, and then he invests in his kids. I've said that once before, because I think it's very vital. But I told you, pride can sometimes blind you into making you think that you're really doing what God has called you to do. So that's what I have for you today, and we're going to continue to deal with this whole pride thing before we get to humility, because that's where we're going to end up at, because that's where we ultimately need to end up at. Because one of the things about it is that humility, and I need to say this to you now, humility has enabled us to be able to do all that Christ has asked us to do. And that's why, therefore, you need to humble yourself under God's mighty hand, and He will exalt you. And the scripture even tells us to be careful of man who exalts himself. Hey, until we see you next time, may God bless you and keep you, is our prayer. And remember, a life unexamined is not a life worth living. May God bless you.